The poleaxe is a type of European polearm which was widely used by medieval infantry. It is also known by the names pollaxe, poleaxe, pollaxe, polax, and hache. The term has become synonymous with felling or striking down with delivery of a blow. Etymology: sometimes weapons such as the halberd, the bardic or the Danish axe are mistakenly called polaxes as they are indeed axes mounted on poles, but many etymological authorities consider the pole prefix historically unrelated to pole, instead meaning head. There are however some etymologists, such as Eric Partridge, who do believe that the word is derived from pole. Types of poleaxe. The poleaxe design arose from the need to breach the plate armor of men-at-arms during the 14th and 15th centuries. Generally, the form consisted of a wooden haft some 4 Euro 6.5 feet long, mounted with a steel head. It seems most schools of combat suggested a haft length comparable to the height of the wielder, but in some cases hafts appear to have been created up to 8 feet in length. The design of the head varied greatly with a variety of interchangeable parts and rivets. Generally, the head bore an axe or hammer upon the damaging face, with a spike, hammer, or fluke on the reverse. In addition, there was a projection from the top built somewhat like a dagger. The head was attached to the squared-off wooden pole by long flat strips of metal, called langets, which were riveted in place on either 2 or 4 of its sides. Also, a round hilt-like disc called a rondelle was placed just below the head. They also appear to have borne 1 or 2 rings along the pole's length as places to prevent hands from slipping. Also of note is that the butt end of the staff, which did not contain the weapon's head, bore a spike. On quick glance, the poleaxe is often confused with a similar-looking halberd. However, the axe blade on a poleaxe seems to have been consistently smaller than that of a halberd. The smaller head concentrates the kinetic energy of the blow on smaller area, enabling the impact to defeat armor, while broader halberd heads are better against lesser armored opponents. Furthermore, many halberds had their heads forged as a single piece, while the poleaxe was always modular in design. Fighting with poleaxe: the poleaxe was usually used by knights and other men-at-arms while fighting on foot. The poleaxe has a sophisticated fighting technique, which is based on quarterstaff fighting. The blade of the poleaxe can be used, not only for simply hacking down the opponent, but also tripping him, blocking his weapon, disarming him, slicing him and blocking his blows. Both the head spike and butt spike can be used for thrusting attacks. The haft can be used on blocking the enemy's blows, cross-checking, and tripping him. Both Sigmund Ringic and Hans Talhofer have treatises on the poleaxe in their medieval fighting manuals. Poleaxe fighting techniques have been rediscovered with the increasing interest in historical European martial arts. Today the poleaxe is a weapon of choice of many medieval reenactors. Rubber poleaxe heads designed for safe combat are available commercially. Popular usage: the poleaxe in that spelling, refers to an animal culling device of similar appearance. It was swung so the spike struck the animal, normally cattle, in the forehead. Hence also the phrase to be poleaxed referring to being stunned. This term does not seem to appear before the 19th century. See also, Bec de Corbin, Bill, Warhammer. References: The Oxford English Dictionary gives the following etymology: SV. Pollaxe, M.E. Pollaxe, Pollax, S.C. Pollaxe equals MDU Pollux, Pollux, MLG and LG. Pollaxe, Polex, F. Pol, Pol N1, SC Pow, MDU, MLG. Pole, Polhead plus axe, CFMDU. Polhammer equals polehammer, also a weapon of war. It does not appear whether the combination denoted an axe with a special kind of head, or one for cutting off or splitting the head of an enemy. In the 16th c. the word began to be written by some poleaxe, as if an axe upon a pole or long handle. This may have been connected with the rise of sense too. Similarly, mod. SW Payen Lix and Westphalian Dial Payen Lex have their first element equals pole. Sense 3 may be a substitute for the earlier poleaxe, which was applied to a butcher's axe. Wise, Terence. Embleton, G.A. The Wars of the Roses. Men-at-Arms 145. Osprey. Pages 33. ISBN 0-85045-520-0. For instance, Eric Partridge gives the following etymology: El palus, steak becomes o-e-pal, when sem-e-pol, pole, e-pol, the mecpd pollaxe, polax becomes polax, a polax, cfax. Further reading, Schulze, Andrew. Copyright Mittelalterliche Campeswesen. Band 2, Kriegschammer, Schuld und Kolben. Mainzimrenzaben, 2007. ISBN 3-8053-3736-1. External links: Le Jeu de la Hache, Spotlight, The Medieval Poleaxe.